Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're re-digging into a topic that might not sound as exciting as gold rushes or massive diamond finds, but it's absolutely critical for anyone involved in earth sciences, especially mining, quality assurance and quality control, or QAQC. Think of it as the unseen superhero of the geological world, protecting your investments and ensuring the integrity of every rock and soil sample. Without it, even the most promising mineral discoveries can turn into colossal failures. And that brings us to one of the most infamous stories in mining history, a cautionary tale that forever changed how geological data is reported: the Bre-X scandal.
Imagine, if you will, the mid-1990s. The internet was still a baby, and mining stock bubbles were a wild ride. Enter Bre-X Minerals, a Canadian company that, in 1995, announced a discovery in Busan, Indonesia, that they claimed was the largest gold deposit in the world. Their shares skyrocketed from mere cents to hundreds of dollars in less than a year, creating instant millionaires and sending the investment world into a frenzy. There's even a film called Gold that loosely tells this wild, almost unbelievable story. The dream began with a non-geologist who had a vision of a massive gold deposit in Indonesia. He put everything on the line, found a local geologist, and started sampling. The samples returned incredibly high gold values, almost too good to be true. But while Canadian geologists initially raised red flags, the market's hunger for gold was so intense that the share price kept climbing. Major companies wanted a piece of this seemingly boundless pie. However, as part of their due diligence before a potential venture or buyout, independent geologists were brought in, and that's when the too good to be true nightmare became a reality. The samples, it turned out, were salted, intentionally contaminated with gold from another source. The consequences were catastrophic. Bre-X collapsed, investors lost billions, and trust in the mining industry was shattered. The fallout from Bre-X was immense. It directly led to a global demand for higher standards in reporting sample data, most notably the implementation of NI 43 to 101 in Canada. This regulation, and others like it worldwide, mandated that a qualified person, QP, or competent person, CP, must rigorously review all sampling procedures for accuracy and potential issues. It fundamentally shifted the industry towards robust, transparent quality assurance and quality control QAQC programs.
So, what exactly is QA or QC? It's often misunderstood, but it's simpler than you might think. Quality Assurance QA refers to the overall system and management processes designed to prevent errors from happening in the first place. It's about setting up the right framework and procedures. Quality Control QC, on the other hand, involves the operational techniques and activities used to detect and correct errors after they occur. Think of it this way. QA is like having a perfect recipe and a clean kitchen before you start baking. QC is tasting the dough along the way to make sure you didn't accidentally use salt instead of sugar. Both are essential for a delicious, and in our case, reliable, outcome. A crucial point in geoscience is that we are not dealing with mistakes in the typical sense, but inherent errors. As Michael Thompson, a co-designer of the Thomson-Howarth precision plot, famously said, "All analytical measurements are wrong. It's just a matter of how large the errors are and whether they are acceptable." These errors stem from the natural inaccuracies and imprecision of data due to the limitations of sampling and analytical methods. QA or QC helps us understand and manage these inherent uncertainties rather than pretending they don't exist.
Beyond avoiding scandals like Bre-X, implementing a rigorous, well-conceived QA/QC program is paramount for several reasons. Financial security, a strong QA/QC program is fundamental for attracting project investment and financing and achieving a better asset valuation for. It directly reduces the financial risk associated with a Project 59. Implementing it early saves money and time by reducing the need to re-verify data at later, more advanced stages. 4. Would you invest in a company whose core data you can't trust? Neither would a bank. Financial security, a strong QAQC program is fundamental for attracting project investment and financing and achieving a better asset valuation. 4. It directly reduces the financial risk associated with a project. 59. Implementing it early saves money and time by reducing the need to re-verify data at later, more advanced stages. 4. Would you invest in a company whose core data you can't trust? Neither would a bank. Regulatory compliance. Post-Bre-X, institutions like the Canadian Institute of Mining, Metallurgy, and Petroleum CIM with NI 43 to 101 demand a higher caliber of standards for reporting mineral resource and reserve estimates for ... These codes require the data to be truthful and to follow industry best practices, with AQAQC signing off on their accuracy and validity. 1012. Scientific credibility. In earth sciences, where complex systems are understood through vast amounts of data, effective data practices are crucial to ensure the quality, integrity, and reproducibility of research findings. 13. Accurate and reliable data underpin every major decision in mining, energy exploration, infrastructure, and environmental assessment. 16. It builds trust, preventing contamination. As analytical techniques become more refined and detection limits decrease.
An effective QAQC program is a systematic and dynamic system that extends across all stages of a project, from initial sampling to final data interpretation. Standard Operating Procedures (SOPs). The blueprints. Think of SOPs as your project's detailed instruction manual. They document precise protocols for every step: sampling, preparation, analysis, and data handling. Having these written down, or even in video format, is essential for consistency, especially when new personnel join the team. No more, that's how we always did it, based on vague memories. Control samples. The sentinels. These are specially prepared or selected samples inserted into the regular sample stream to monitor the performance of the analytical process. There are 3 main types. Certified Reference Materials (CRM) standards. These are samples with a known and certified concentration of the elements of interest. Inserting CRMs typically from a competent and certified supplier helps you measure the accuracy and bias of laboratory analyses. It is recommended to use at least 1 CRM for every 20 samples. If your CRM comes back significantly off its certified value, it's a red flag that something is amiss at the lab. Blanks. These are samples of natural material that are guaranteed to contain acceptably low, ideally 0, concentrations of the elements you're looking for. Blanks are inserted into the sample stream to detect cross-contamination or carryover that might occur during sample preparation or analysis. If your blank sample shows a positive result for the mineral you're assaying, it's like a smoke detector going off. Something is definitely wrong. Coarse field blanks are often preferred for drilling programs to catch contamination during sample preparation. Duplicates. These are additional samples taken at various stages to assess the precision and reproducibility of your data. Precision, the consistency of repeated measurements, is often the hardest to control in geological sampling due to the naturally heterogeneous nature of geological materials. Imagine trying to get 2 identical samples from a chocolate chip cookie. It's tough. A significant proportion of examined QAQC protocols often overlook the use of duplicate samples, especially in advanced exploration stages, which is quite alarming as it means practitioners often lack control over precision errors. For drilling programs, duplicates can involve splitting core into half-core or quarter-core samples. The statistical interpretation of duplicates, often using tools like Thomson-Howarth plots or the average coefficient of variation (CAVAV), helps quantify and understand this precision. Poor precision, especially for gold due to its nuggety distribution, can significantly increase project risk.
Working with certified laboratories is key. Labs accredited to ISO 17025 standards, which are specific to individual analytical methods, are preferred over more generalized certifications like ISO 9001. This accreditation signifies rigorous documentation, measurement uncertainty tests, and participation in semi-annual round-robin comparisons. Maintaining open lines of communication with the laboratory is vital. Laboratories that understand your project goals can better tailor analyses, and transparency about QC methods helps both parties work together to resolve any issues quickly. Data management and verification. The meticulous record keepers. All project information, from drilling data and sample analyses to rock types and densities, must be managed in a secure database. This ensures that data is properly located, displayed, and ready for geological modeling and decision-making. Data provenance, the history of how data was captured, processed, analyzed, and validated, is absolutely critical. Just like a good detective needs to know where evidence came from, scientists need to know the origin and modifications of data to determine its trustworthiness and reproducibility. Comprehensive documentation, including core photography and accurate drill collar downhole surveys, is crucial for data validation and audit purposes.
The qualified person or competent person is a professional geoscientist responsible for ensuring the project data meets regulatory standards and industry best practices. Their role includes visiting the property, verifying data accuracy, and providing an opinion on the data quality, which significantly impacts a report's acceptance. Crucially, the QP should be involved from the very beginning of the project to proactively address potential problems. Beyond the lab, a significant part of effective QA or QC happens right in the field. Standardizing rock and alteration naming. This might sound trivial, but when you have multiple geologists on a project, consistency is key. Otherwise, you end up with the old joke. If you put 3 geologists at a table with a rock and ask them what it is, you'll get 4 answers. Ricardo Valls, a professional geoscientist and author of a book on QA or QC for fieldwork, emphasizes the importance of a standardized system for naming rocks and alterations. This involves using clear flowcharts and visual aids, perhaps even posters in the core shack, to ensure everyone uses the same descriptive terminology and coding. This ensures that descriptions are systematic, regardless of whether it's a M or PM, raining, and you're being beaten by mosquitoes. Smart field techniques. Simple, practical methods can provide valuable initial data insights. For example, measuring temperature differences between the surface and a shallow hole and indicate mineralization, as mineral deposits can host bacteria that produce cooler gases. Drill core discipline. For drilling programs, meticulous procedures are vital. This includes weighing core boxes upon arrival, accurately measuring rock quality designation (RQD), marking intervals for cutting, and ensuring proper half-core or quarter-core splitting 58. The sampled core must be stored securely in a core shack for future reference and verification. The core shack, in Ricardo Valls' view, is the heart of the company. Drill core discipline. For drilling programs, meticulous procedures are vital. This includes weighing core boxes upon arrival, accurately measuring rock quality designation (RQD), marking intervals for cutting, and ensuring proper half-core or quarter-core splitting 58. The sampled core must be stored securely in a core shack for future reference and verification. The core shack, in Ricardo Valls' view, is the heart of the company.
Despite the best practices, QA/QC is an ongoing process with inherent challenges. The sources highlight that while accuracy errors bias are generally well controlled through the systematic use of blanks and standards, precision errors remain a significant flaw, often due to the intrinsically heterogeneous nature of geological samples. Many protocols don't even mention using duplicate samples, or if they do, the interpretation methods lack rigor. This means that practitioners often don't truly control the precision errors associated with their data. Ultimately, QA QC programs need to be dynamic and flexible, evolving with the various stages of resource development and the complexities of individual projects. They are not a one-time setup, but a continuous effort to minimize uncertainties and risks for decision makers and investors. And remember the first rule of troubleshooting when QA/QC results show an anomaly. Always look first for the human error. It's often the simplest explanation.
In conclusion, quality assurance and quality control are not just bureaucratic hurdles. They are the bedrock upon which successful geological exploration, resource estimation, and mining projects are built. From preventing multi-billion-dollar scandals like Bre-X to ensuring that every sample, every data point, and every interpretation is trustworthy, QA/QC safeguards your investments, validates your science, and ultimately helps unlock the true value of Earth's resources. Invest in robust QA/QC, and you invest in confidence and success.
Welcome to my channel, where you'll find over 2,000 videos on geology, geochemistry, AI, and many other subjects. If you like what you see, help us grow by subscribing, liking, and sharing this channel.
I think these videos are brilliant, and I'm sure you will like them too. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and don't forget to click the notification bell.